I don't go around calling my games art. I'm not sure why that is. I tend to identify with the term writer or game designer, though I am cognizant that both writing and game design are forms of art. I think any creative expression is a form of art. My number one goal when I'm creating any game is to create something that's fun to play. I think that if a game is not fun to play, it has failed at the one thing that it needs to do right. That said, I often have different goals for the different games that I design. In one game, I might be trying to facilitate sort of wacky, madcap, slapstick humor, whereas in another one, I might be taking a more serious tone, and I might be trying to explore the role of the hero and what the hero has to give up in order to be a hero. There's a saying that I'm really fond of that I believe it was originally said by a game designer named Luke Crane. That is, game design is mind control. You are designing games, you are creating mechanics that interact with each other in such a way that you encourage a specific behavior from your audience. And that behavior is the core of your gameplay. I think games can be escapist fantasy. I think that's an important niche for them to fill. I don't think it's the only thing they can do. You very much write what you know, and fantasy and sci-fi and horror and these sort of like offbeat genres are the things that I know, and so most of my game design reflects that. When you're a game designer, when you design games, you can't not be designing games. I read something and I understand it by saying, what if I change this? And you're always like assimilating those ideas and thinking about those ideas and remixing them into something else. And that's what game design is. I recently designed and kickstarted a game called Becoming. Becoming is a game about heroism and sacrifice. It's about what you have to give up to be a hero. It's about taking that first step onto the path of saving the things you love and giving those things up bit by bit in order to save them. It's sort of a death of a thousand cuts kind of game where in the end, even if you make it to the end of your quest, even if you succeed, you're not the same person you were. For those who are unfamiliar with the way a traditional role-playing game works, you usually have one person who is the game master, who sort of narrates things and takes the role of all of the minor characters in the story and presents opposition for the other players who play the heroes of the story. And I thought to myself, what if I reversed that dynamic? What if there was one hero and multiple game masters who are all trying to tear the hero down? And I thought about that for a while, and as I often do, I remixed it with ideas that I already had, that I just filed away for later use. And I came up with this idea where, alright, so say you have a hero, and you have 3 GMs who take on the roles of fear, pain, and doubt. And that's where the core idea of Becoming came from. That's where I came up with the idea of, okay, this is a story about what you have to give up. Like most game designers, I want Becoming to be in stores. I want people to buy it. I want people to enjoy it and play it and talk about it. But I also want it to be a living game. I plan on releasing the rules for Becoming under Creative Commons so that people can make their own stuff for the game, put it up for sale, and be paid for the work they've done. I have a website, and I plan on, whenever I find out about a new piece of content that someone has created for the game, I plan on linking to it so that there is one place that is a repository for all the stuff you need for Becoming. Story in a game is an interesting thing because when you're writing a novel or a short story, you have control over what happens. You get to decide what the main characters do. You get to decide how the villains respond to that. You get to just decide what happens in the environment. You have full control over every aspect of the narrative. With the game, that's not the case. A game is about laying the groundwork for other people to create a story. It's not the same as writing a novel or a short story, but it is still writing, and it's taking writing from a different point of view. It's sort of like, look, I'm going to lay all the groundwork, and here, you finish it.
I can give it up on the first day. I don't have to exist outside.